Welcome to our second webinar. Thank you so much for taking your time and joining us today. So today we have a special guest, Terry Simpson, joining us from Abraxas, who is our health and safety expert, who's been checking all the stamp plans and advising on all the space-only building regulations. So she will be presenting a few slides. So on today's agenda, we'll go through the event timetable again. We'll go through the official contractors, just to recap what is included in your space only stands package. Then Terry will then talk about all the build rules and regulations and the stand design approval process. We'll also just remind you of all the deadlines that are coming up. Then floor plan, sustainability and recycling, machines on the stand, and venue technical guides and health and safety and insurance. And then lastly, we'll just conclude it with a short Q&A session. And then so now just before we start, I just want to quickly remind everybody that the session is being recorded and we will share the recording with everybody once the link is available. And you are also being currently muted at the moment, but if you have any questions, please do feel free to use the chat function. But then at the end, when we start the Q&A session, I'll give everybody the ability to unmute yourself. So as many of you are already familiar with the event timetable, but let's go through it one more time. So the build-up will officially commence on the 11th of September, and we have 5 days of build, and each day of build will start from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. If you're a machinery company and you need an extra time for build-up, please do get in touch with us and we can assist you with that. So you are able to work later than 6 p.m. on all days, apart from the last day of build, which is the 15th of September, where no late working will be allowed. And there will be no charge for late working between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. But if you require more build time after 8 p.m., then you will need to arrange this at the exhibitor service desk 48 hours in advance. And the late working charges from 8 p.m. onwards is 1,650 euros per 4 hours minimum order. Then the show will officially open its door on Tuesday, 16th of September at 9:30 a.m. But as an exhibitor, you will be able to access the halls from 7 a.m. The show will close every day at 5:30 p.m. Apart from the last day of the show, which will close at 4 p.m. If you're interested in hosting a reception on your stand, you are welcome to do so until 8 p.m. only, but please do email us with the details of your function. The dismantling will start on the last day of the show, the moment the show closes. So it's going to start at 4 p.m. And once the halls are clear of all visitors, we will start letting moving vehicles in for dismantling. We have 2.5 days for the dismantling, and your stand will need to be completely dismantled and all waste removed by 6 p.m. on the 21st of September. I will now hand it over to Pera, who will talk through the official contractors.
Good afternoon, everyone. Right, so there is a list of the official contractors and a description of what everyone is doing on the manual, but we're just gonna go through the list. So Abraxas, with Terry, who's here today, they are responsible of approving the stand designs and will also be floor managing on site. B-Network is our hotel partner. We really recommend you, if you have not done it yet, to go to the hotel's website, which is on the website and also in the manual, and book your hotels through them, as they are the ones that are offering good discounts. And also, should you have any issues or any problems, if you book it with them, then they would be able to help you. Then we've got DB Pixel House, who is managing the audiovisual. And then Fira de Barcelona, the venue where we're hosting the event, manages the services of cleaning and recycling, compressed air, space-only electrics, plants, flowers, furniture, carpet, security, internet and Wi-Fi, parking, rigging, temporary staff, and water and waste. We have a link to their shop on the manual, so you can just click that link and then access to all the services. Gastrofira is the team at Fira who manages the catering. And then we've got GS, our general service contractor. They're managing all the shell scheme stands. And then they're also doing flooring, graphics, and show ready, which is if you have a space only stand, you can get them to present you like a quite nice stand for a package. So it's an easier way for you to build a stand without having to go through a stand design contractor. ILS is our shipping partner, so they manage all the deliveries, the shippings, and the logistics, and also storage. So if you have any questions with moving your machines or anything else like that, just make sure you read the section in the manual, and then also read their brochure. And then Visit by GES is the platform that manages the lead retrieval system, VIP codes, and everything else. In terms of the deadlines, please make sure that you go to that section of the manual and put all the deadlines in the calendar. The deadlines are approaching, so we would really recommend you to get everything ready before the deadline, as that's the way that you could benefit from the early prices. If you pass the deadline, it's likely that you're going to have to pay a bit more because you will have missed the deadline. But any questions, you can contact the customer service team. In terms of what is a space only stand is a space that you buy empty. So if you have purchased a space only stand, the stand comes with nothing. So you are responsible to organize flooring, walling, electrics, furniture, and graphics. As I said, you've got GES who can do the show ready package, but then we also have a list of stand design recommended suppliers in the manual, so you can also reach out to them. So they can send you some proposals. This year, now that we're working with Abraxis, we have also changed the way that we are receiving the designs, the stand designs, and approving them. So historically, you would be able to send the design via email to us, but from this year, we would ask you to please go to the stand design submission section and then follow the process that we recommend you, which is go through the Abraxis link, and then you can upload all the documents on that link. And then you'll also have to answer a questionnaire with a lot of different questions that are very important to us. So we would ask you to please follow this link instead of emailing it to us. If you email us the designs, we will copy this link so that you can follow the processes that we have started this year. And then very important as well to remember that the 31st of July is the deadline for stand design submissions. So again, we would advise you to please do the best so that you can send us all the stand plan designs by the 31st of July, if not before, along with everything else that we are outlining with the stand plan, detail of the machines, where they are, health and safety documents, and also better stands, which we will talk later in the presentation. And now I'd like to introduce you to Terry from Abraxis, who's going to talk in a bit more detail about what the process is and what you have to do.
Thank you, Per. Good afternoon, everyone. Abraxis are the official appointed health and safety partner to Labelexpo, and we're responsible for these three main areas. And today we're going to be looking in more detail at the stand design regulations. So I'd like to guide you through the process and highlight really what's new for 2025, because the move from Brussels to Barcelona does mean several new technical requirements for you to be aware of and to take care of in your planning. Firstly, as Per mentioned, the stand plan submissions are via the online link, and please do not submit them by email. And the reason we do this is because we collect a lot of useful information at that early stand plan submission process. We collect a lot of data that we pass to the venue, we pass back to the organizer, and specifically, we also collect detail for our better stands, assessments on site, and also the working machinery. There are several parties involved in the sign-off process, and Abraxis have experience of managing a number of high-profile events at the FERA. We have great relationships with the rigging team, for example, the structural engineers, and we will track all those approvals that is required for your actual sign-off. Included on the stand plans, we're looking for your floor service ducts to be highlighted. And this is really important because the floor service ducts do need to be accessible throughout the show, throughout the build-up, throughout the show open and the breakdown. There are examples in the manual of how you can integrate the hatches into your raised floor. Please also show the venue pillars on your stand designs. And again, all services do need to be accessible by the venue. We're looking to see that your machinery is set inside your stand space and has the relevant guards around it. When you do have working machinery on your stand, we are going to be sending you an additional risk assessment for your working machinery demonstrations. And that's really so that we can see the control measures that you've taken into account. There are 2 payments required at the stand plan submission process. Firstly, the stand plan inspection fee to Abraxas, and that covers our independent health and safety review of your stand plans. We're making sure that your stand plan designs are compliant with the organiser regulations and the venue regulations. And there's a refundable deposit payable to ILS, who are the official logistics company, and that's relevant to waste. As Per mentioned, the deadline is the 31st of July. We do get an awful lot of stand plans, probably a few hundred stand plans submitted on deadline day. So if you can aim to beat this date rather than meet this date, that would be appreciated. So we'll now look at the actual stand design regulations. Where you have an adjoining partition wall with a neighbour, your walling should be a minimum of 2.5 metres and a maximum of 4 metres. That maximum of 4 metres, all height should be noted on your elevation drawings, but that must include the height of your raised platform floor. So please do indicate that on your plans. The more information that you put on your plans, the quicker we're going to be able to review it for you. Anything over 4 metres in height is deemed complex, and that's another review process with further engineering checks. So that's the reason why the organisers have stipulated a 4 metres maximum height, including the height of your raised platform floor. Rigged banners, 6 metres to the top of the banner. There are no exceptions to this, and technical truss is permitted above the 6 metres. But please note there are rigging restrictions for stands under or on the walkway. There's no rigging permitted in those areas. And stands under 24 square metres, you do have other restrictions, which is a maximum height build of 2.5 metres height, and no rigging is permitted. There are solid wall restrictions along the gangway edge, and this is really for the organisers' aim is to avoid any exhibitors or indeed show visitors facing long runs of solid walling. So we will be looking for how the breaks are integrated into your stand design. I've mentioned before the floor service ducts and venue pillars. All of these are to be noted on your stand design, please. And that also helps us check the orientation of your stand design, where we can see that you've included those areas in your designs. Raised floors over 50 mil, it is compulsory at this venue to have integrated ramps. So that could be a slope all the way around the edge of your stand, or an integrated ramp access of at least 1 metre wide. Stands that are visible from the walkway, and we can highlight these to you when we receive your plans as well. But we do ask really that the areas that you can see into the stand from the walkway, so for example, what the show visitors can see, that's no unsightly views and any untidy storage areas that are capped off, that the ceilings are capped off. So we're just really thinking there of what the show visitor can see. And the reverse of back walls facing into your neighbours, we're really looking for these to be plain, white, and finished the same quality that you would have the walls facing inside into your own stand design. What is deemed complex at the FERA? So stands deemed complex will involve a secondary review process, and most elements attached to the venue's rigging points will be deemed complex. That includes truss with lights and your bespoke rigged banners. If you were to include a lightweight aluminium framework, pre-manufactured rigged banner, this is typically what we would call a shop-built system or a proprietary system. As long as there are no modifications to that and you confirm the manufacturer's details with your stand plan submission, then we're going to be able to confirm to you that that's non-complex. But we do need all of that information included on your stand plans, please. Any stage areas over 50 centimetres will be deemed complex. And for anything that is deemed complex, we're going to require your structural calculations, and there will be a separate fee payable to the venue. So the process for anything complex is you submit your structural calculations and technical drawings to Abraxas in the normal way via the online link. Abraxas will then submit all information to the structural engineers, and we will be tracking progress of all the approvals. The engineer will only contact you if they need more information or regarding the payment of the engineering sign-off fee. And Abraxas will the engineers will notify Abraxas when that approval process is complete. So we get daily updates from the engineers, and they'll be keeping us informed of that. Other regulations to take into account for the larger stands over 100 square meters with ceilings is smoke detectors are required. You can order those services through Servifera, and the number of exits required on the ground level for stands over 150 square meters. There are other regulations to take into account. And again, we can guide you through all of this once we see your stand plans. It's important that the safety glass regulations of the venue are adhered to. Plants and flowers on the stand, we always recommend real plants and flowers. If you do use artificial, then you are going to be required to submit the fire retardant certificates. We aim to give you feedback within 48 hours of your plan submission. If you do wait until the 31st of July, until deadline day, as I say, we do receive a few hundred stand plan submissions on that final deadline day. So please just do allow us a little bit more time. General queries can be emailed to labelexpo@abraxas.com. And that's not to submit your stand plans. That may be a general inquiry you may have. You may require a technical plan of where your floor service ducts are located, any queries on anything outstanding on your stand plan submission, or any clarification of the design regulations. We're happy to answer all those emails, but anyone who submits plans by emails, we will ask you just to resubmit via the online submission. As stand plans are all submitted in the order that they are received online. And our on-site health and safety team. We're there to ensure that there's a safe working environment for everybody working in the hall. Abraxas are visible in their purple and yellow high-vis jackets. We'll be reporting back to the organisers daily on any incidents, accidents, and dealing with those as necessary, but reporting back to the organiser and giving feedback to the organiser. And that will be to monitor good working practices, as well as any activities that we need to intervene and provide more guidance on. The organisers are also going to be visible on the show floor. They will be wearing their pink high-vis. Please ensure your teams on site take their own PPE equipment and that you're fully equipped with your own PPP high-vis jackets. And we're just going to be asking for, our on-site floor management team will be asking for cooperation from all contractors on site. And we look forward to working with you in the coming weeks and seeing you on site. And back to Per.
Thank you, Terry. Right. So we will now touch the subject matter of sustainability and recycling, which is quite important for us all. We've been working very hard to improve this over the years. So we've got the initiative called Better Stands. So Better Stands is an analysis that we do where we encourage all exhibitors to follow our rules. So basically, we're going to be auditing all your stand designs and all the materials that you are using, and we ask you to fill in some questions pre-show, and then Terry's team is going to be talking to you and the contractors on site just to analyze whether you have followed all those rules or not. So the idea is that any material that is used in your stand, it's either reused or recycled. So that's sort of like in summary. But then if you go to the manual, you can go into a bit more detail. Also, if you have a machine and you have some paper rolls waste, we have an initiative and we've partnered with a company in Romania. So we're going to be collecting those rolls every night, and then those rolls are going to be recycled and they're going to be made into pallets. So it's a great initiative that we encourage you all to participate. We will be sending you reminders and a bit more information, and then once we're on site, between our team and Terry's team, we'll also be checking and then organizing with ILS the collections of those rolls. In here, you can see a summary of the better stands, and the minimum that we're asking for you is to get to the bronze level. But ideally, over time, we can get to gold standards, which means that most of the, or all of the stands that we have on the event use materials that can either be reused for other events or are fully recyclable. Now I'm going to pass it over to Claire, who will talk about the flow plan and also will give a bit more information about the logistics and the machines.
Sorry, I realise I'm muted, sorry. So the live floor plan for the show is available on our website. This is as it is today, so it's completely live. There are different versions of the plan which will include where the service chests are, and so on. So it's a really helpful tool. Also, the venue map through the Fira Barcelona website is a very handy tool. It has a panoramic views of each of the halls, so you can see exactly the flow and where the pillars are and so on. So we will share this document after the webinar so you can actually peruse both those sites. Right, next slide, sorry, Para. Okay, so the machines on stands. As Terry mentioned, part of your stand submission process will include, if you're bringing machinery, for you to let us know exactly what you're bringing. This is really important for us to know as organisers, also for our shipping and lifting company to know in terms of handling the machines, but also just so that we know how we need to control the atmosphere really, because obviously with so many machines running at the same time, there might be a situation where the atmosphere is a little bit uncomfortable with the ozone. So we're asking at a minimum that the machines have a filter system built into the machines themselves, an ozone filter. But if they don't have that, we really need to find a solution with the Fira to extract the fumes outside. So part of the questionnaire that Terry's included for your stand submissions includes questions about the machines and whether they are fitted with a filter. So it's really important that that is submitted along with your stand plans so that we can assess this and point you in the right direction if you need some more exhaust solutions. Next slide. Sorry. And then logistics. So we'll have more information of this in the portal. But basically, all people attending the show, whether that's in the build-up, during the show days, or on the breakdown, will need to have a badge. We will have a specific stand contractor badge, which will be for the build-up and breakdown times. We will also have a badge for your contractors if they need to access the show site during the show days, just to make tweaks to your stand or to replace furniture or whatever they might need to do during the days. And these are all going to be available online. So all the badges will be digital or in a QR code. There won't be any need for lanyards, but every contractor will have to show that pass when they arrive on site. The contractor badges themselves are not valid for the exhibition days. So it's very important that if you need someone from your contracting company to come on site, so they complete the link for the on-site badges. Sorry, next slide. And again, this is a bit more information about the loading areas. So any very large vehicles will need to go to a marshalling yard called SOT. SOT is a few kilometres from the venue, and basically our handling agent ILS will be based here, and they will be instructing when the trucks can actually go to the various gates. So there will be a schedule for that. So if you're scheduling some large trucks, I would recommend that sooner rather than later you speak with ILS to make sure that you're scheduled for the correct time that suits you or when you need to be on site. Again, further information is available on our portal and in this document. Okay, I think Rebecca's going to talk you through the health and safety and insurance now.
Thanks, Claire. So just quickly going through health and safety and the insurance requirements for Labelexpo. So as with all events, health and safety is very important for us. It's also important for exhibitors and contractors to make sure that you're during build-up, during show open and during dismantling, you're following our health and safety guidelines. So if you go into the exhibitor portal, the health and safety section is available to you. Please ask that you read through all the section. There is also the health and safety declaration document that we ask that you can read through, sign it and then send it back to me on the help@labelexpo.com email address. We ask that PPE is used for Labelexpo events, so making sure you're wearing sturdy boots, closed-toe boots, and also high-vis during build-up and dismantle days, please. So as for all Labelexpo events, insurance is a requirement. So we ask you to have public liability insurance to a minimum of £2 million. This is for both exhibitors and contractors to have. So you won't be able to use your contractor's insurance. You do need to have your own insurance cover as an exhibitor. You may already have this in place. A lot of large companies will already have this in place. So just speak to your legal team. And if not, you'll need to find a company of your choosing to purchase this cover from. And then we just ask that you submit proof of cover to us, again, to the help@labelexpo.com email address. So that's everything I think we're going to cover today. Our next webinar will be at the end of July, and it'll be covering sales and marketing topics. So anything to do with VIP badges, lead retrieval, exhibitor badges, and then also the sales team will be going through the rebid process as well. So that will be in the end of July, and we'll send out communications once we've confirmed a date. And I think we'll kind of open the floor up to any questions that anybody has. If you want to use the raise hand button, or you can use the Q&A button at the top of the page and we will answer any questions that you have.
I can see Amin has a raised hand. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask question.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for the webinar. I have actually two questions regarding the shipping and logistics and regarding the electrics. So ILS are the shipping and logistics contractor. Now, my understanding from the several contractors I'm trying to get a quote for the stand from is that we'll be only responsible to get the machines or equipment to the SOT area or the SOT site, but then who is responsible for delivering those to the stand? Is it ILS?
No, so basically you will be responsible for delivering, for registering at the SOT, and then your driver will drive the truck to the gates when they're instructed to do so by ILS. And then ILS will manage the offloading and the loading with forklift trucks from the loading bays.
To the stand?
To the stand, it will be
Yeah.
ILS, yes.
Okay, ILS. Okay, fine. Just so you know, because it is,
Yes.
I mean, we do have heavy machinery and equipment. We do require a forklift,
Yes, of course.
and obviously delivery to the stand.
Yes, no
Okay.
problem.
And this can only be arranged with ILS then?
They're the officials for the loading and offloading at the show, yes.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. One more thing is about the electrics. I just had a discussion this morning with one of the contractors, and they said they cannot actually apply for the electrics. That I have to do that online on the portal. Is that true or?
Yeah, all the orders need to be made through the portal. Yes, you can't just email your requirements through. It's mainly so that you can check through the options that you have for power, and whatever else you might need for your machine. So the links are all through the portal, directly to the FIRA, the Survey FIRA, who are managing the power.
Yeah, okay, I understand that, but my question is, the contractor is saying that is not their responsibility, it's the exhibitor responsibility. I want to give them a turnkey project for them to give me everything from A to Z, but what they're saying is, no, you have to arrange and pay for that separately.
That is depending on how you work with your contractor. You would normally get a full service so they can do it for you, but I mean,
Yes.
we don't get involved in that.
But what you can do is you can give your contractor the access to the portal so they can order things directly. That's correct, isn't it, Rebecca? So that you don't have to order that, they can order that, you know, but they will need access through you to be able to do so.
Understood. I just wanted to verify this information because I mean, I only received it this morning really, and I wasn't very clear on it.
That's
Okay. I think, yeah,
No
I
problem.
think that's a good, I think you answered the question. Thank you. I think that's a good outcome,
problem.
I think. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you very much. From my side, I have no further question. Thank you.
I think we have someone else with a question. Sorry, I can't.
Hello, I think it's me. Is it me?
Stella.
Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
Stella. It's Stella. Yeah.
Yes. Hello. I'm representing Wigang with the booth number of 3D85, and actually I have a few very detailed questions for you. The first one is, do you happen? I tried to download some of the floor plans from the website that you just showed us, and I haven't downloaded all of them yet. Still, I would like to double check with you whether you have a detailed plan for all the hanging point, or you call that rigging points from the ceiling. Do you already have a detailed plan for that, so that we can already plan our construction based on your plans?
On the rigging plans. Peritao, is there a rigging plan included there?
I'm not familiar with that. I know we've got a plan for service chests and another plan that has height restrictions. I don't know. I think for the rigging floor plan or the specifications, it's best if you reach out directly to the FIRA team and they'll be able to help you with that.
Okay, actually, I think I already downloaded the floor plan you mentioned with the chest or whatever, but I couldn't really find the rigging points. So, okay, we will send over our stand plan for your
I'm
team.
just checking on the page if there is any on the download section, but I'm not familiar with it.
Yes. And while you are doing that, maybe I continue with my second question.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, to save our time. Second one is, I learned that the opening hours for exhibitors is from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening. And can we still clean our booth after that, or we have to finish everything before 7 p.m.?
Ideally, it would be before 7 p.m. But the show closes at 5:30, so that gives, I think it's 5:30, so it gives you, yeah, the show closes at 5:30, so you have a couple of hours to be able to clean your stand, no problem.
Okay. Okay, I got that. Thank you. And one of the questions is, the other question is, because we might need to bring some catering food for our
Yes.
own, not for visitors, for ourselves, for our own staff. Is that allowed?
It is allowed.
Also
It is allowed.
It's
Yeah,
allowed. Okay. Also,
it is.
it's for the
Yeah.
construction period. Okay. Thank you.
You can,
And
you
I
can bring
think
in.
there's. Okay, thank you, Ramon. And also, I have a very detailed question from my technical team, which is about the electricity connection. Is that on the floor, right? Is it?
It's on the floor, yes.
It's on the floor. So do we have to leave it open for your inspection, or
no?
Can we cover it?
So you will see from the floor plan that you probably, as Weigang, because you've got a big stand, you'll have a number of service chests on the floor. So you would need to decide which of the service chests you want to use. They don't have to stay open, but you mustn't cover them. So, but if you do cover them, for example, I think it says in the regulations that you have to have a hatch. So they have to be accessible just in case there's a problem with the power. So some companies will put a hatch with a small handle to be able to open them. That's probably the easiest way to, yeah.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I will talk to my technical team. Thank you for that. And any news about the rigging point? Thank you.
I think it's better to talk directly with FIRA. They'll be able to tell you exactly what the rigging points are in your section. I couldn't find any floor plan specific for that. Sorry about that.
That's why I'm asking. Actually, I didn't find it either on the floor plan. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah,
no problem. And then we have Ellen. Ellen has
somebody sent it on the chat. Somebody sent it on the chat.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have one simple question. I'm looking for renting a dishwasher and I couldn't find it. So who would be, the company where I need to rent this, and how do I get to this company?
I think you can do that through the FIRA Barcelona. So the best thing you can do, Ellen, if you send an email to, I'll pop it in the chat. It's labelexpo@firabarcelona.com. And someone from the team will get back to you if it's possible to rent directly with them.
All right. Thank you very much.
And then Hannah's asked about the Wi-Fi. So there is Wi-Fi, complimentary Wi-Fi throughout the venue. I mean, obviously, it is a good consistent connection, but I think if you were looking to download or you're looking for anything specific for your stand, I would recommend that you actually order a fixed connection or your own Wi-Fi connection for your own stand. Right. Is there any other questions?
I have a question regarding the air conditioning. Are we going to have air conditioning at the fair?
Yes, there is air conditioning. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry.
Obviously, during build and dismantling periods, there might be some periods because the gates are open, moving machines that we won't have. So it might be a bit hotter, but when we're preparing to open the show and everything, we'll have the gates closed normally and we'll have AC.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I think we had another question about the LED walls.
Where was that? Oh, we're using it for trade also. Concerning sustainability, the height is 2.25 meters. That's fine. That's from Lars.
Yeah,
that's fine. The 2.25 meters is permitted.
Yes, thanks a lot. Done. Perfect. I'm happy.
No problem.
I have a question also regarding the pillars.
Yes.
We are in the all 5, and it seems that all pillars have a fire system. Is it correct that in the all 5? Okay.
Not all of them, but a few of them have the fire equipment that you need to have. Needs to be accessible.
Because it's not clear on the map, on the plan, where are those systems? Is it possible to show here?
So if you go to there is a section called Download Send. I'm gonna share it with you now. where you can get the details of the so let me. So if you go to the website of Fira Gran Via, and you go to Hall 5, for instance,
Benny's just shared it.
so if you scroll down, you can just walk. So you need to identify where your stand is located, and then, for instance, this is a corner area where some of the big stands are. So you can clad the pillars, but you need to have the fiber equipment needs to be open and accessible. And then if you go to English and then you go to the download section, there is a document on the technical information that is called column details. So in here you can see the specifications of the columns in Hall 5. So you can find yours.
Could you share the link in the chat here?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Because here, it was not so clear. If you go on slide, sorry, can you share it again? What you were presenting?
So you when you are on the
no,
website.
But the presentation that you had just before.
Oh, you want the PowerPoint?
The PowerPoint, yeah, the slides.
Well, there was no slide. There was no information about the pillars on the PowerPoint.
Because it seemed that there is okay.
So yeah, I'll share this. You just go to this download section, and then you've got a lot of information, and then you go to technical information, and then you go to column details. But I'll share this with you all here.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Any more questions?
About yes, please. About electricities and the service cheese. When we send the different document for the electricity, it's described that we have to put where we would like the electricity on the booth. Between the service cheese and where we would like the power cable, I would like say it is on the floor, it's put on the floor, or it is inside the floor.
So there is a hole. So there is a circular hole with a lid. That's a service chest. Depending on the size of your stand, you might have one or you might have more. But when you decide where the electricity comes from, all the services will come from the floor. So if we recommend you to build a raised platform so that all the cables and everything don't disrupt the floor. If you have a machine, you would have the machine on the floor, but then you have a raised platform. What we ask you to do is to have, if you have a raised floor, that the area where the service chest is can be open and closed so that it's accessible.
Yes, sure, but okay, so that means they have only they're coming only from the service cheese. The electricity.
Everything will come from the floor, from the service chest, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means if we have asked on the drawing the power, for example, you have a square in front of you, the service cheese is on the top left, and I have asked the power on the right bottom. That means one cable.
Yeah, that's why we recommend you to put a raised floor so that they can put the cable and then bring it from the service chest into the area that you want the electricity. Yeah.
I don't think we have any more time for questions, but then again, if you do have any questions after today's session, please do feel free to email us at help@labelexpo.com. But then, yes, so we will share the recording once it is available, along with the copy of the slides from today. So we'll see you next month. Thank you, everybody, again today.
Sorry,
Thanks
can I just say something? Because we emailed you, but we didn't get any answer, and I think the time is a bit up because we want to change our stand from being built by prefitted, and we already emailed like the Labelexpo, but like no one answered. Like if you can, I don't know, follow up in some way. We are okay.
What email did you use? Labelexpo CS or help at?
I'm not sure, but I probably the help one.
It would be helpful to know which one so we can check.
Can you just pop your company name in the chat and we can follow up? Would that be all right?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, for sure. I will put the name and the stand number, okay?
That would be perfect.
Thank you.
And your email address. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
No worries.
Bye. Thanks all.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.